9, compute the standard deviation. My bad, it's a typo again. I put variation. Wow. And sketch a bell curve using 5 students' pop party scores for the first quarter. And they give us 60, 85, 85, 80, 90, and 100. All right? So, tell your neighbor your conclusion, since it's a word problem. It's not just data. Right? They're giving you an actual scenario, so you have to come up with a conclusion. Tell your neighbor what your conclusion was. All right, while we get that, let me get started with the mean and all that nice stuff. So we need the mean. What'd you get for the mean, Caleb? What'd you get? 83? Hands if you got 83. All right. From there, I need the standard deviation squared. What'd you get for standard deviation squared? Illy. 172. 72.6. 176. Okay. Hands if you got that. All right, looks about right. And our standard deviation, pass someone, Illy. Precisa. 13.3. Hands if you got that. Looks about right. So, bell curve. The mean is at 83. And then we got our standard deviation at 13.3. So upward, we are at 96.3. And on the opposite end, we are at 69.7. Yes? So the average range or normal range for this group of students' quizzes is from where to where? Yes. So, tell your neighbor the conclusion. What can you conclude from those 5 students? They are stats posters also. Conclusion. Priscila, pass someone. Alexa, what can you conclude? Average score was 83 for the pop parties. Okay, good. But let's be a little bit more, let's look at it in terms of, let's say someone's looking at this data and they're trying to determine, if they see this graph and they see that this is the what? The norm. What can you conclude from these 5 students? Talk it over your neighbor. If that's the norm, what can you conclude from those 5 students? All right. I think we got it. Help us out, Diego. 3 students are at norm and what? So the 2 of them, they are outliers. However, let's be more specific. And 1 is, there you go, below the normal range. And the other was, you said perfect? Okay, watch out. Or above the normal range. Okay, those are the types of observations that you can start making with now that you have like a data set to a problem. Okay, copy the agenda, please. Warm-up number 29, frequency tables. Tonight, study. Tell you never why. Let's go. And I gave you a specific problem to study, page 53, number 23, Michael Jordan. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did okay from the corner, but he was more like an aggressive player. He just didn't care. Yeah. How many games, what? I don't know. That's a good question. Be nice. Wow. Yes? Yes. And graphs. Oh, my bad. Thank you, Peyton. Frequency tables and graphs. So here are the graphs that we've been looking at so far. What graphs have we been looking at for so far? Yeah, you better know this because you made a video out of it. My goodness. Right? It's like, I'm going to make a video, and you don't know the graphs. Let's see. Clarissa, give us one graph. Histogram is one. How about another one, Alexia? Ogive, yeah. And what would be the third one? We got histogram, we got ogive. We need the one in the middle, which is Fernando. Frequency polygon. Remember the word polygon, okay? All right, so copy this code for the home play, RBCME, RBCME, RBCME. And like I said, today we're going to basically, you should be able to do this by yourself, but I'm going to guide you through it just to make sure that we got all the components in place, okay? So, let's see. Last night's home play was 52 to 53 pages, numbers 18 to 21. Those of you that finished up to 20 and you turned it in, then that's all you did, right? Tonight's home play, like I said, it's only one problem. It's for you to, like, recap what we do here in class. Yeah, it's not that much. And here we go. Get a Cornell note ready. I can represent frequency tables into graphs. I can represent frequency tables into graphs. I can represent frequency tables into graphs. So, frequency tables and graphs. All right. So, we started with data. What kind? Categorical and quantitative. And what's the other word for categorical? Fernando? Damn, didn't miss a beat. Let's go. Frequency tables, we covered that at the beginning of the school year. Steps, and we talked about the three different graphs. There they are. From there, we talked about distribution, frequency distribution tables, and we're right now working with group. And that's pretty much the one we're going to stick to. I am going to give you some that are categorical, but for right now, I just want to make sure that you get mastery on making sure you put together your data in an organized way. Okay? So we cover this, this, this. And then we got to this, yes? And then you got into your home play, 18, 19, and 20, yes? All right, so with that said, copy this one, example number 2, bless you. Example number 2, copy the data, please, as I read the problem, and it reads, the number of calories per serving for selected ready to, excuse me, to eat cereals is listed here. Construct a distribution using 7 classes. How many classes? 7. But then it says, draw a histogram, a frequency polygon, and an ogive for the data using relative frequencies. Describe the shape of the histogram, and then I wrote conclusion, question mark, because we need to come up with a conclusion, yes? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, I'll give you some time to copy that, and I'll send you the screen in a little bit. Copy and go. All right. Looks like most of us already copied the data. So let's get started. Once again, the problem talks about what number of calories per serving for all these cereal, ready-to-eat cereals. So we need to build the frequency distribution for 7 classes. So, tell your neighbor step 1. Step 1. All right, step 1, Areli, range. Okay, so what numbers do I use to find the range? Help me out with this one. David, numbers. The highest, subtract from the lowest. So which is our highest? 270, okay, 270. And that one is right about there. And what was the lowest? 80. Hands, have you got those two? Okay, so minus 80. So my range is 190. Hands, have you got that? All right, so far so good. What would be our next step? Next step, Natalie, next step. The width. So, to find our width, what did you do to find our width? What shall we do to find our width? Tell your neighbor, what do you do to find our width? All right, width. Lenny, tell me what to write. The range, which is 190, and then by classes. Okay, how many classes? 7. Okay. So my width, let's see, computers computes. 28 point what? 7. Oh, 27.7. First, give me the number in decimal, and then we'll round it. 27.7. Hands, have you got that? Yes? All right, and we always round to the nearest whole number up, not down. So that means this goes all the way up to what? 28. That's going to be our width. All right, so step 1, step 2 is done. What do we do next? Next, tell your neighbor, please, and then Daisy's going to enlighten us. What do we do next? Daisy? Okay, so you start with the smallest number. You use the width to get for each class, to get started with each class, which means our column is titled what? Class limits. Class limits. All right, so our smallest number was 80, we said. And then we add 28 and go downward to the next class. So this is 108, and then 136, and then 164, and then 192, and then 220, and then 228. Huh? To what? 248. Yeah, I did that to see if you guys were paying attention. 248. All right. Let me rewrite that one nicer. 248. 248. All right. Let me pause the tunes in the back. So, for my first class, it starts at 80, and it goes to, look up, this line is not subtraction. It says it goes to, from 80 to what? Well, if the next class starts at 108, that means this one ends at 107. Once again, the second class is at 108, and it goes all the way to what number? Well, if the next class is 136, that means this one is 135, and so on and so forth. What do I write here? 275. That is correct. Now, check this out, guys. Look up really quick. This is where some of you kind of like, I've noticed some of you like hesitant. Look up really quick, write your utensils down, just to clarify. Our width goes from the lowest numbers, it gives us the next beginning class, and so on and so forth. Are we there so far? However, if you see the pattern going from its lower limit to its upper limit, instead of being 28, it's what? 27. That means one less. So for each, we go 27. So 8 plus 27 is 35. 136 plus 27 is 163, and so on and so forth. So when you get to this one, 248 plus 27 is 275. All right. So step 1, done. Step 2, done. Step 3, done. Tell your neighbor the next step. Then we'll have Chelsea share the next step. All right, looks like Diego's got it. Very good, Diego. All right, Chelsea, next step. So she said subtract 0.5 from 80, so that would be 79.5, and that one goes all the way to, and then she said add 0.5 to 107, so that would be 107.5. What are those called, people? Tell your neighbor, please. What are those called? Yeah, boundaries, class, boundaries. All right. So, next one. Joel? Uh-huh. Thank you. Next one, Jael. Yes. And I'll just expedite this, 163.5 to 191.5, 191.5 to 219.5, 219.5 to 247.5, and 247.5 all the way to 275.5. All right? Next step, tell your neighbor please, and then we'll have Mia Victoria share. Tell your neighbor the next step, please. All right, Mia Victoria. Tallies, yes. And what would be our final step after the tallies, everyone? Yeah, so I'm just going to use the symbol of the F italic for what? Frequency. Okay. So, I'm going to start with blue. Here we go. From 79.5 to 107.5. 79.5 to 107.5. Nothing. Oh, here's 1. Here's 2. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 and 1. All right, hands if you got 8 for the first one. Okay, so 8. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. Uh, 107.5 to 135.5. 107.5, 135.5. So we got 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, and 1. Hands if you got 12. Did I make a mistake? 13? Which one did I skip? The 5th column? Which one? The 3rd column? 120. Yeah, I did that on purpose to see if you were paying attention. Good, you were. All right, let's continue. 135.5 to 163.5. 135 to 163. 135 to 163. Here's 1. 2. Hands if you got 2. Yeah, all right. So far, so good. Next one. 163.5 to 191. 163 to 191. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. Hands if you got 9. Let's go. All right. From 191.5 to 219.5. 219.5. So we got 1, 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh, 4. My bad. 4. 219. Here's 2 more. Another one. And that's it. Got 7? 8? Did I miss one? Where at? The 200. Let's go. Hands if you got 8? Yes? Okay. 8. All right. Go to the next column. Next class. From 219 to 247. 219 to 247. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. And the last one, we got 1, 2, 1, 2. Hands if you got that? Yeah? Okay. So now that we have that, what do we do, Mr. Q? Well, it says to do what? Let's see. These are calories per serving, and then we constructed the frequency. But then it says draw a histogram, a frequency polygon, and an ogive for the data. Let's go. Love this part. All right, so let me move this up. And let's construct the histogram over here. Let's do this together. Get your quadrant. And once again, what do we use, guys, to get the histogram? Well, first, we do need the frequency. Yes, that's for sure. But then we use the class boundaries to find one more column. Tell your neighbor what that column would be when building our histogram. See if they remember. What is the extra column that we build? Extra column. Extra column. Looks like Caleb got it. What do you think, Caleb? Start with M. Yes, the midpoint of each of the boundaries. And tell your neighbor how to find the midpoint of these two numbers. Midpoint of those two numbers. Add them and divide by 2, yes. 107.5 plus 79.5 is 186. I mean 286? No, 186. 187? Yes, 187. Divided by 2? 93.5. All right, find me the other midpoints, please, for the rest of the classes. Give you some time. All right, next midpoint, Joseph. 121.5. Next one, Peyton. No. Dylan, help her out. 149.5. Next one, Illy. 177.5. Next one, Areli. 205.5. Next one, Diego. 233.5. And the last one, David. 261.5. Okay. Now let me highlight what we're going to need when we start building our histogram. Look up, especially our bars. We need the frequency. So I'm looking at the first class. We need the frequency. We need the boundaries, the lower and upper boundary. Remember we plot 2 points. And then we need the midpoint that goes between those two, connect them, and then we draw our lines down to make our bar. So here we go. So this is our X, and this is our Y. So for our X, we start at 79.5. Do the little squiggly here. We start at 79.5. Next one is 107.5. Next one, 135.5. Next one, 163.5. Next one, 191.5. Next one, 219.5. Next one, 247.5. And the last one, 275.5. 120. Oh, my bad. I made a. Did I skip? 107. Oh, it's 107. My bad. 107. So 0, Diego. So clear. All right, and our frequency goes from 2 all the way to what number? 13. You guys want to go by 1s, 2s, or what? By 2s? All right. So we go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. All right. So here we go. Y'all ready? I'm going to do the first bar so you guys can follow along to make sure that you got this. Here it goes. First, my frequency was what? It looks like it was 8. Okay, so here's 8 right here. So I'm going to go this way, and my first data is at 79.5, so 8 to 79.5, place the point. My second boundary is 107.5, another point. But in between there, well, those in between there, 93.5. I'm just going to guesstimate, make a bigger dot between the two. All right, connect those three with a horizontal little line segment like so. And with the boundaries, just go all the way down to the x-axis and fill your bar. So I started with the frequency at 8, went to my boundaries, point, put my midpoint in between, connected those, and used the boundaries to draw my line down. All right, let's go to the next one. What's my next one? I'm going to change colors. I'm going to switch to red. What's my frequency? No, frequency. 13. So I'm going to put like a red one right here so I know that I'm at 13. So 13, and what are my boundaries? 107 and 135. 107 is about right there, and 135 is about right there. And in between should be a midpoint, a bigger point. You guys see that? A bigger point. Connect these three. And then the boundaries go straight down. And fill your bar. Ooh. You're like, come on, Q, we're ready for tomorrow. Just bring it. Bring it. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going to switch to green. What's my frequency? 2. Okay, so I'm at 2 right here. And then what are my boundaries? 135.5 and 163.5. 135.5 is right here. 163.5 right here. And the midpoint in between was what? 149, so it's about right there. Connect them, boundaries down, and fill your bar. Next, I'm going to switch to black. What's my next frequency? 9. So I go to 9, so 8 is right here, 10 is right here, so 9 is about right there. I'm going to make it thicker right here. And the boundaries are 163.5 and 191.5. 163.5 is about right there. 191.5. And the midpoint in between, I'm going to make it bigger. Connect those. Boundaries down. And fill in your bar. I'm going to switch to blue again. Next frequency is 8. So here's 8 again, right here. And my boundaries are 191 and 219. 191, 219. The midpoint was 205.5. I'm going to make it thicker. Connect and fill. Are we doing? Yes? Is it coming back for some of you? Yeah? All right. Next, I'm going to switch to red. Frequency is 4. So here's 4 right here. And the boundaries are 219 and 247. The midpoint was 233.5 in between those two. Connect those. Shade. And the last one, I'm going to do that in green. Frequency is 2. Again, we're here. And the boundaries are 247.5, 275.5. So 2 is about right here. Right here, the midpoint is 261.5. And you shake. From 1 to 5, I'll come to where you with this. Yeah? Okay. So the next one, that is a histogram. This is a polygon. Again, draw your X. This one's going to go a little bit faster because this one doesn't use as much data. We'll keep the, oh, and by the way, I forgot to label my X. What are we talking about? What are all these numbers? Yeah, calories. Calories per serving. That's what these numbers are down here. What is the Y, everyone? I'm just going to put a big F like this for frequency. Frequency. Here we go. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. And again, set up our X. We got 79.5. Then we got 107.5. Then we got 135.5. Then we got 163.5. Then we got 191.5. Then we got 219.5. Then we got 247.5. And then we got 275.5. And we label the same thing. I'm just going to leave that label here so that you know that it's for our X. So, now we're building our polygon, frequency polygon. Tell your neighbor, what are the only two data, or data from our table that we're going to use to build our polygons? Tell your neighbor, what are the only two things? Looks like Arely's got it. Very good. Princesa, what are the only two information that we need? Let's go. The midpoint and the frequency. That is correct. So, start with our first class. I'm going to start at what? 8, and I go to 93.5. 8, 93.5 is about right there. To spot your point. Next, 13, 121.5. 13, 121.5 is about right there. Next one, 2, 149.5. 2, 149.5 is about right there. 9, 172.5. 9, 172.5 is about right there. 8, 205. 8, 24608. 2.5. 205. About right there. 4, 233. 4, 233. And 2, 261. 2, 261. All right. So here we go. We start from the lowest data, which is down here. Go to the first point, second point, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Polygon. From 1 to 5, how come to far you with this so far? Yes? Okay. How are we doing? Yeah? And the last one. What is our last one, everyone? Ogive, yes. Wait a minute. Don't we need another table for ogive? Yes, we do. All right, tell your neighbor how to build the new table for ogive. The new table for ogive. Yeah, so we start off, here we go. I'm just going to start you off since we're running out of time. So class, and then over here you write cumulative F, which is frequency, yes? So look up, here it goes. This is where some of you got confused. I start with the lowest value of my boundary, which was what? 79.5. So I need to do what? Less than 79.5, that's a 0. We always start at 0. From there, I don't use all these under here. I use all the ones to the right so it can go faster, yes? So the next one would be what? Less than 107.5. Next one, less than 135.5. Then less than 163.5. Then less than 191.5. Less than 219.5, and then 247.5, less than, and then the last one less than 275.5. Now for the cumulative frequency, what do we do, guys? Here it goes. For those of you that forgot, I'm going to use red. So the first one was 0. The next one at 107, that means I look at this, I'm at what? 8, okay. The next one is 135, yes? So watch. From 135, 8 plus 13 plus 0, that gives us 21. So the next one is 2 plus 8 plus 13 plus 0, which is 23, Michael Jordan. The next one, 23 plus 9, that gives us 32. The next one, 32 plus 8, that's 40. And the next one, plus 4, so that's 44. And the last one, plus 2, that's 46. And why are they building up? Because it's called what? Cumulative. And you just use this table to graph your points for the cumulative OJAP. All right? So your home plate, make sure you do number 23 by yourself, Michael Jordan. And be ready for tomorrow. Woo, let's go from the corner. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your home plate. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.